Happy Thanksgiving weekend, everyone. Today's challenge is the bus analogy challenge. And let me explain what the bus analogy is. If you received my email, you can read it there, but I figured I would do a video because this one is a little bit more vulnerable. Like, it's gonna take you some time to really think about it and to really get deep within yourself. And when I first thought about it and did it, it kind of blew my mind because it was what all the doctors were telling me that I was holding on to emotionally, but I didn't really understand or believe at the time. So let me go back and explain what the bus analogy is. So the bus analogy is by Dr. Jenn Chrisman. She's a psychologist, a life coach that I met at Mommy Millionaire Live, but before I met her, I already heard her bus analogy on the Mommy Millionaire podcast. I believe it was summertime is when I heard it. And so how she explains it is we all have a bus, or we're all driving the bus of our life. And on that bus, we all have passengers, and they all are different parts of our life. So for example, the passenger in my bus right now could be the 27-year-old right now who wants to empower women and moms to live a life of gratitude and spirit, mind, and body, and wants to change thousands of lives so that eventually it could change their kids' lives. There's also the 25-year-old who was really sick on my bus. She was really sick, yet she went to work, took care of other people, continued to do what she needed to do for other people instead of herself. There's also what else? The 22-year-old who just passed the NCLEX, or the 23-year-old who found out she was pregnant right after passing her NCLEX. I'm mixing up my ages, but basically she's saying that we each have different passengers in our bus, meaning different ages of our life that something good or traumatic has happened to us. And whoever we allow to drive that bus for us is how we respond or react to things that happen in our life. So what I want you guys to do is to think back and see in your life, what age did you feel the most hurt, the most vulnerable, the most abandoned or sad, or just had the most negative emotion? And for me, I would say it started way back when I was 14 years old. And it's interesting because when I was 14, that's when my symptoms started of being sick. That's when I started having my migraines. And I knew it ran in my family, but I didn't know why it was so severe at the time. And even my holistic doctors, when I see them, they say, they ask me, did something happen to you between the ages of 14 and 19? Multiple doctors have asked me that, actually. And when I try to think about it, between 14 and 19 is when I was dating my ex. 14 years old was when I asked my parents if I could have a boyfriend. They said no. I had a boyfriend anyways and went behind their back, and they got really upset. With them getting upset, it kind of weakened our relationship in that sense, or the trust. And then my boyfriend at the time also cheated on me and left me for another girl with no reason or explanation. But that's where the feelings of not enough or not good enough came from. And I think ever since I was 14, I've carried that through my life with everything and anything I did. I started to feel like I wasn't good enough when I did a project, or started to feel like I wasn't enough or good enough when applying to jobs, or applying to colleges, or when that relationship finally ended. We were together for 5 years and he left me 3 times, and I went back to him 3 times because I felt like I wasn't good enough to be with anybody else. And that basically lived with me for a long time, even till this day when I was trying to come out with Serenity, my gratitude journal. I felt like maybe it was not good enough, or maybe the ideas are not what people will want or like. So what Jenn Chrisman says with the bus analogy is to not kick people out of your bus and not bury them or forget about them, because that's what we tend to do. We try to forget about this stuff in our life that happened in the past, but we have to acknowledge them, and then also love on them. So basically she wants you to close your eyes, imagine that passenger or that person that you used to be at the age that you were the most hurt, and actually visualize yourself giving them a hug. Visualize yourself saying that I'm here for you, I got this, and then just tell them, I understand you're really hurt, I acknowledge that you're here, but I got this now, and I'm going to drive this bus. I'm going to drive this bus for us. It's okay, I got this. So you're not kicking them out, but you're acknowledging them. And she really says that's the start of the healing process of wherever you are at in your life right now. So sorry, this is really hard for me to share. If you notice I'm not talking as straight or whatever, is because today, Black Friday, is the 9-year anniversary of when my ex left me for the 3rd time, with, again, this time with no reason, with me feeling I'm not good enough or not worthy enough. But it's okay, because out of all those experiences I've learned and have grown, and a month or 2 later CJ came into my life, and although I had all these walls built up, he made sure and showed me that I was good enough, and I'm worthy of love, or true love. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And the challenge for today is, if you don't feel comfortable sharing it on your social media, you can just email it to me or send it to me directly. But at what age do you feel like you were the most sad or hurt, and what story were you telling yourself at the time, and how does it affect you now? I know it's a lot of questions, but it's really the start of healing before we move on to spirit, mind, and body in the next few weeks. And once you recognize what age that was and what story you were telling yourself, then you can move forward in changing your mindset for right now. If you come across things that you're feeling, or things that you're avoiding to do right now, or things that you want to progress in but you can't progress in because you're still living in the past. So anyways, happy Black Friday, everybody. Bye, have a good day.